Do you like Lifegain? Well, guess what? Today we're going to talk about the best Lifegain cards in Magic the Gathering. And per the rules usually of this channel, the rules are a bit loose. If it just gains life somehow on the card, it's going to qualify. Even if it doesn't, maybe even if it doesn't say Lifegain, it'll qualify. You know, maybe something like Oko that cracks food tokens. That's still going to work. Okay, let's go with Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. Was a huge wrath in Standard, Pioneer, Modern, got banned in all the formats, banned in Historic as well, Historic and Explorer, because when it entered the battlefield, or it attacked, mind you, you gained 3 life, you drew a card, and then you put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. And you could, I mean, if you killed it, it doesn't matter, it's gonna come back. And it was a 6/6 creature. 6/6 creature effectively for 4 mana. That's broken. So, yeah, Uro hit the ban list in a big way. Gaining that 3 life, I mean, as soon as you get that Uro player down to almost dead, and then they escape the Uro back. Why did this have to be an ETB? Why did it also have to be on attack? That is just, absolutely nuts. Shout out to Heliod Sun Crowned, says Charlie. Heliod Sun Crowned. Like I said, it just needs to say the word lifelink somewhere on the card. It doesn't actually give you life or anything like that. So Heliod Sun Crowned does have the ability, 1 white, 1 generic, another target creature gains lifelink until end of turn. And especially if those creatures are like Walking Ballista or Spike Feeder, you get infinite life because whenever you lose a counter from those cards, Heliod says whenever you gain life, put a counter on target creature enchantment you control. So, yeah, sure. Remove as many counters as you want from the Spike Feeder and Ballista. They're always going to gain life and put more counters back on them. Lorenzo, absolutely Omnath counts here. Omnath. Card that's still around in some formats, but actually very legal everywhere. I guess the problem is everything else. But, yeah, there's no greater stabilize than Omnath, Locus of Creation, because whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 4 life. And if you have a fetch land and you sack the land, then you get 4 mana. If you have, like, an additional fetch land that you can sack, then you can gain, you deal 4 damage to each opponent and each planeswalker they control. It doesn't even affect your planeswalkers. But it gains insane amounts of life. If you play, like, say, fetch land your turn, gain 4 life, you pass the turn. That's when you just pass the turn. Then on their turn, you crack your fetch land. Then it's as if you just put the land in play, and you gain another 4 life. That's like 8 life. That's a what percent of your life? That's like 40% of your life total. Gained right back. Oh, actually, no, that's not true because you also paid a life for the fetch land. Only if you paid life for the fetch land. Oh, yeah, that's creative. Grizzlebrand. I don't think this is... The show is not going to be what... If someone's like, oh, best life gain cards, like Healing Salve and stuff. Grizzlebrand. Okay, the greatest creature. 7/7, flying lifelink. Pay 7 life, draw 7 cards. And sometimes... Not sometimes, like on a pretty regular basis. It's funny, you draw like 14 cards and you completely brick on your combo. Because it's played predominantly in combo decks. So they gotta get in that red zone. They attack for 7. They gain 7 life and they can draw another 7 cards. So that's actually really important. I saw Moderate Sands. Otakaruni with someone who's actually sort of playing... Not by the rules, but like, you know, actually giving us a real life gain card. When you think life gain, you think of Martyr of Sands. You think of the Soul Sister 1-drops. So 1 white, 1/1, pay 1, reveal X white cards from your hand. Sacrifice Martyr of Sands. You gain 3 times X life. You need to get your life total above 30 in a jiffy. Martyr of Sands is going to do the job. Well, yeah. Well, Soul Sister is not the correct name of any of the cards, though. That's the name of the archetype. Okay, we've got Choland Light of Promise. What is this? I've never heard of this one. It's a relatively new one. White, 2 generic, enchant creature. When you gain life, put that many counters on this creature. We want the best life gain cards. This is some weird janky aura. Is this good? Is this good in Commander? Whenever you gain life, put that many +1/+1 counters on this creature. Maybe in Commander it's good. I don't know. I'm gonna let everyone else decide how good Light of Promise is. It is a light. It doesn't even gain life. Okay, I gotta buzz it again. Doesn't even gain life. It's actually, if you gain life, it does something. Timely reinforcements, very timely. There's an updated version, isn't there? Reinforcements. Timely reinforcements, 1 white, 2 generic. If you have less life than an opponent, you gain 6 life. That's a lot of life. If you control fewer creatures than an opponent, put 3 1/1 white soldier creature tokens onto the battlefield. This actually was a huge staple in Modern for like an eternity. It has a good record, we'll just put it that way, but I don't really see it anymore. The Soul Warden. The Soul Warden. Does this card have any place in Magic the Gathering right now? Is this seeing a lot of Historic play lately? I haven't played Historic in like 2 years. But back then it was hot stuff. There was literally a life gain deck. One of the tier 1 decks of Historic back then were life gain, and I believe it had this card in it. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you gain a life. And then all those life gain trigger things happen. The magical good stuff that all life gain players want. I think they should push life gain a little bit more with these types of creatures. Like, creature enters the battlefield, you get like life, and it triggers things. They just don't. They're getting close. They're getting close to some sort of archetype that could see play in like Modern. I don't know about Legacy. Maybe it'll be impossible. But maybe if you design it the right way. Maybe if you design it the right way. Tommy Siddons with the Kitchen Finks. What's a Finks? Like, I actually don't know what the hell I'm looking at. Okay, I understand what an oof is. But what is a Finks? A Kitchen Finks. A lot of names in Magic the Gathering I never question until I'm on this show. And I'm staring at you guys right in the eyes. What's a Finks? Alright, 3/2. Enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life, and it has Persist. So when it dies, it comes back with a 1/1 counter, and you gain another 2 life. Doesn't matter. If it comes into play as a 3/2 or 2/1, you still gain the 2 life. Great blocker. Great combo enabler, too. Very good combo enabler. Oh, we've got super chats up the wazoo here. I believe the Soul Sister is called Soul Warden. You're correct. And there it is. We got Bromance, Scavenging Ooze. Thanks for the super chat. So you got to get in early, people. You got to get your suggestions in early before the super chatters come by. Is this still good in Commander? I mean, they keep printing this card. Green, 1 generic, 2/2, exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature card, put a +1/+1 counter on Scavenging Ooze, and you gain a life. Some nourishment there in that graveyard. It's not the styrofoam mats they were feeding people on The Simpsons in the elementary school. Not a lot of meat in these gym mats. And next we've got Arakusu. Are shoe store owners called Soul Wardens? Aha! How many souls you sell in there? How many souls are you a warden of? No, they're the warden of a different soul. Thank you very much for the super chat, though, Arakusu. Phoenix. Ah, Blood Artist. Casual player's dream, but also Stu Blood Artist. They had to fix. Whoa. They had to fix Blood Artist for alchemy. Whenever Blood Artist or another creature dies, target opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. Looks the same. They look the same. I think it's the same thing. Yeah, whenever Blood Artist or another creature dies, target player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. I actually saw super competitive play in Standard at the time. And if you can find the right configuration to make the problem with these decks is that you need enough creatures in play, including the Blood Artist, to survive in order to go off. So if you're playing in a format where there's a lot of removal, it's a problem. But if you know, especially in Commander, if your opponents don't have a lot of removal, this thing's going to be a boss. All right, we've got Uber. Sanguine Bond. Oh, that's Boulder's favorite too. Sanguine Bond. Black, 3 generic. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. I thought about it for a little while. This doesn't actually gain life. It is a clause that if you... I don't know, do we consider these life gain cards? You would put it in a life gain deck. Yeah, not really a life gain card. Not really. I'm gonna... I don't know. If enough people suggest this stuff, then maybe we'll let it slide. All right, Spartan, thank you very much for the super chat. Respite. I don't even know what this card is. Green 1 generic, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. You gain a life for each creature that attacks. The ultimate fog. And also the ultimate salt in the wound for the player against the fog deck. Because when I'm up against the fog deck, I'm always assuming I'm attacking for lethal. And then all of a sudden, you know, not only am I not attacking for lethal, I have to deal way more damage next turn. Balder with the super chat, thanks so much. Divinity of Pride. What is this? Orzhov hybrid for a 4/4. Flying lifelink. Divinity of Pride gets +4/+4 as long as you have 25 or more life. How many of you love playing with these cards where if you have more life, the card gets bigger? Oh, that reminds me. Does Blood Baron gain lifelink? It does have lifelink. It reminds me of this card. I don't know if anyone knows this card exists. And it's like 35 cents. Lifelink Pro from white and black, which is a lot of huge chunk of Magic cards. As long as you have 30 or more life and an opponent has 10 or less life, Blood Baron of Viscopa gets +6/+6 and has flying. Can taste blood. It's exactly the point of the card. That's the flavor. Back here with the Uber Shrimp. Thank you so much for the super chat. I meant Exquisite Blood. Aha! Correcting your mistake on stream with the super chats. There we go. Whenever an opponent loses life, you gain that much life. That's right. That one works. It's an okay by me. 2 thumbs up. Of course, it also goes into all those combo decks where if an opponent, or if you gain life, an opponent loses that much life. Nick, thanks so much for the super chat. Fasting because life is greater than card draw. The hell is this? You may choose to skip your draw phase. If you do, you gain 2 life. If you draw a card for any reason, fasting is destroyed. During your upkeep, put a hunger counter on fasting. When fasting has 5 hunger counters on it, is destroyed. Holy crap, this card is bad. Did we go over this or like bad one drop video? This is a terrible card. So for that, we have to give it the buzzer. I won't give you the big buzzer because at least it gives lifelink, but... Actually, well, what is this called? Yeah, we're called Best Life Gain Cards in Magic the Gathering. Oh, Auriok Champion. This is a good one. Alright, Auriok Champion. Pro Black, Pro Red. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you may gain 1 life. Bobby says, fasting is often considered the worst life gain card. Worst life gain card in the game? I do not doubt it. I don't doubt it. Auriok Champion. Where are you, Auriok Champion? You're like one of the most key cards in Modern at one point, and then just not around at all. All right, we've got tons of more beautiful, juicy cards to talk about. But before we get any further, we got to talk about our sponsors, FusionGamingOnline.com. Unfinity is out. Is it out already? You got to pre-order it. Whatever, you can get it at Fusion Gaming Online. But the deal of the week this week is save 15% off all Shocklands. So if you're building a mana base, now is the greatest time to get a deal. You get 15% off. You know, whether it came from Dragon's Maze or if you want the super premium, delicious expedition cards. And don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout to get 5% off all your purchases. And it supports the channel, of course. Some people ask, if I use the coupon code, does it support the channel? Yes. Yes, it does. And we're going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. It's for the people that you want to play any deck. You got creativity. You can unlock your creativity by renting anything. You know, if you're like, hey, this tier 3 deck, it's pretty good. But you know what? I wish I could play test like maybe 2 or 3 more cards to put it over the top. That's what you can do with Mana Traders. You rent the deck, and then you just rent the 3 cards that you think are going to work in that thing. Play test the deck, and if it's garbage, you just send it back. And if it's great, you keep renting it over and over again. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_G8M. G8M. And now back to Lifegain cards. Oh, wait a minute. Get to the Earthbound On It soundtrack. A lot of people are like, what music is this? It's mostly Animal Crossings and Earthbound. Boulder has another super chat. Thank you so much. Angel of Vitality. Yeah, you would like this one, wouldn't you? 2/2. But if you would gain life, you gain that much life plus 1 instead. Okay. But it doesn't actually gain life by itself. It gains a little bit more. You know what? It's a life gain card, I guess. And you guys let us know in the description. Kyle Driver. A Johnny's Pride Mate. A Johnny's Pride Mate. You know what? I guess we have to count stuff like this. Yeah, these are life gain cards. Okay, so I will adjust the circumstances that it either gains life or gets some big trigger off of life gain. I think that makes a lot of sense. Whenever you gain life, put a counter on a Johnny's Pride Mate. No one would doubt that this is a life gain card because it goes in the life gain decks. Spartan to the bone. Also, thank you very much for the super chat. To the bone. You gain 2 life for each creature card in your graveyard and a flashback. This has been played against me by so many... Actually, has it been played against me? Gain 2 life for each creature card in your graveyard. I was thinking about the mill decks, but no, the mill... Since when did mill play green? When did that happen? No, it didn't happen. Or maybe they did. Maybe they had a light splash. But I don't remember. J.O. with Weather of the Storm. This is a great one. Yeah, Weather the Stone is... Sorry. Yeah, Weather the Storm. You gain 3 life. Then you storm off. Funny enough, this is one of the best life gain spells they've ever printed. It just barely sees play. It doesn't really do what you want it to do. Like, in theory, you want to bring this in versus the Storm deck, right? You want to stop the Storm deck from killing you with the Grape Shot. But then they just play another Grape Shot after this. Or actually, does another Grape Shot work? You only deal 1. No, you can... This is at instant speed. Can they combo off again at instant speed? I don't know. Usually it just doesn't work. It doesn't work the way I want it to. Even though I want it to work. Levy! Thank you much for the super chat. Death Grasp. Rips faces. Death Grasp. Death Grasp deals X damage to target creature or player, and you gain X life. They were so close, yet so far. Boulder again, thank you very much. Authority of the Consoles. This is actually a really good one. This may be an underrated card, even in a lot of formats. It's a white enchantment. Creatures your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. And whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your opponent's control, you gain life. So it super slows the game down if you need the game to slow down. And on top of that, you're going to gain some value, get some life every single time they start playing creatures. Rocks Faith Mender. Lifelink, if you would gain life, you gain twice that much life instead. 1/5. Where have I seen this guy before? Did Soul Herder play this card? I want to say Soul Herder might have played this card. I played against this, and I lost, I think. That's why I remember it. If I won, I wouldn't remember it so easily. Delusions of Mediocrity. Let's do one better, Sir Dexcellent. Let's go Illusions of Grandeur. Let's do one better. This is the comes into play, you gain 20 life. When it leaves play, you lose 20 life. And it's only famous because you can donate it to your opponent with donate or some donate effect. It's the only reason. Balder with the super chat, thanks so much. Underworld Coinsmith. And now you're just naming your deck. Everything with Lifegain in it. Whenever it's Coinsmith or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life, pay a life. Each opponent loses 1 life. You pay life to start nailing your opponent. August! Thanks so much for the super chat. Zeron Orb. Whoa! Still sees a little bit of play today because you can fetch with Urza Saga. So 0 mana artifact, sack a land, you gain 2 life. Sometimes sacking all your lands versus the burn deck, that's what you got to do. That's all you got to do. What the hell is Nykthos Paladin? I think it's Nykthos Paladin. Nykthos. Oh, is it Nyx? Is it Nyx? Is it really Nykthos? No, it doesn't exist. Card doesn't exist. Sorry about that. It don't. No such card is in the database. Lightning Helix. Can't believe it's gotten this far. I guess there's no bigger life gains. There's no card that makes me feel. Oops. Makes me feel life gain worse than Lightning Helix, because against a burn deck, you know, they're killing me, they're burning me down. I go down 3 life, I go down another 3 life, 4 life, go down 5 life, go down 3 life. And I need to race them. Like, I need to get back in this game if I want to turn it around. And then they gained 3 life on top of burning me down. And also, it plays so well with their Eidolon of Great Revel, so they have an Eidolon in play. And whenever you play, you know, spells that cost 3 or less, you take 2 damage. But Lightning Helix sort of pads that, so you, like, deal 3 damage to them and gain 3 life. Which, you know, undoes the 2 life you took from your Eidolon. Balder with a super chat again. Thank you so much. Voice of the Blessed. Bedsheet Elemental! It's Bedsheet Elemental. Whenever you gain life, put a counter on Voice of the Blessed. And as long as you have 4 or more life counters on it, it has Vigilance and Flying. As long as Voice of the Blessed has 10 or more counters on it, it has Indestructible. Uber Shrimp. Veto Thorn of Dusk Rose. Are you an agent for Boulder? Veto. Is there one Veto? Okay, so this is one of those. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. But your creatures the creatures you control can gain lifelink until end of turn for big damage. Okay, there we got a lot on people on Crypt Incursion. Crypt Incursion is a card that is played in Mill. Crypt Incur. This is a Mill card. Black 2 generic. Exile all creature cards from target player's graveyard. You gain 3 life for each creature card exiled this way. Big life gain. Absorb it. Felidar. Oh. So if you want to win the game through Lifegain, this is the way. Has anyone won the game with a Felidar Sovereign by any chance? Raise your hands. I have not. I'm not someone who has done that. White, 4 generic for a 4/6 Vigilance Lifelinker. But at the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 40 or more life, you win the game. Can you sneak in like some life gains somehow? Then you'd have to play. Oh, I guess you could crack. No, if you have Martyr of Sands on the board, they know you're probably going to win, so they're going to attack you. I'm just trying to think. Can you pass the turn in a commander game with this card and then sneak 40 life? Or no, hold on. If you have 40 or more life, you win the game. You start at 40 life. This is broken. It's like isn't this like broken in Commander? This is crazy. Why isn't every archetype just Felidar Sovereign the archetype? Anyway, this is a great one. But wait, there's more! Heliod. But if we already talked about Heliod, Fumigate. We did talk about Fumigate. So we'll go with Fumigate. Oh, is that the sweeper? Oh, that's the sweeper that stings. Destroy all creatures, and you gain 1 life for each creature destroyed this way. Boom! It's nothing worse to feel like when you're up against a control deck, and then they gain life and blow up your board. Dio Brando, thank you so much. Granny's Payback. What the hell is this? It's an unglued card? Oh, I knew it. Just based on the name, I know it's unglued. You gain life equal to your age. It's not a real card. But thank you very much for the super chat. I play Aloro Commander, Sun Droplet, and Cleric class. Sun Droplet. Thanks for the super chat. This is a nice card. Sun Droplet has seen play somewhere. Whenever you're dealt damage, put that many charge counters on Sun Droplet, and at the beginning of each upkeep, you may remove a charge counter from some Sun Droplet, and if you do, you gain 1 life. And we've got oh, did I miss? I missed nobody. Broccoli. Thanks so much. Thopter Foundry count. Sacrifice a non-blue artifact. Create a 1/1 blue Thopter artifact creature token with flying. You gain a life. Yeah, absolutely, that one counts. It can force the life gain. If it can force the life gain, definitely. And famous for being part of the Sword of the Meek Thopter Foundry combo. Thragtusk. What would a life gain list be without Thrag Daddy? Or Swag Daddy, whatever you want to call him. You have altered versions of Thragtusk? Does anyone still play this card in Commander? It seems like a very fair card. It's funny, this card is like sort of OP for constructed play, but it looks pretty weak for Commander play when I look at this card. Anyway, still sees play in the Tron decks because you gain 5 life, and that's a lot of life, and whenever it dies, you at least get another body on the battlefield in the form of a 3/3 creature. Insane. Insane on offense and very insane on defense. But you just have to live long enough to tell the tale. That's the only problem with Thragtusk. You have to live long enough to tell the tale. Alright, we've got Matthew here with the super chat. Righteous Valkyrie is a beast in Standard. Righteous Valkyrie. I think we went over this one. Maybe we didn't. Whenever another angel or cleric enters the battlefield under your control, you gain life equal to that creature's toughness. I agree. I think this thing is incredible. It's a pretty good... It's like it has decent power and toughness, but the fact that it's a flyer makes it really good. Because you're definitely going to outclass the other flyers. As long as you have at least 7 more left in your starting life total, creatures you control get +2/+2, so incredible Anthem effect. And you're probably trying to gain life anyway. Blessed Reversal. How blessed? You gain 3 life for each creature attacking you. Oh god, that's nasty. That might be not enough. That might not be enough in some circumstances, though. Okay, Luke says a Johnny Strength of the Pride. A Johnny Strength of the Pride. I should give you another $2 to hear you mispronounce my name. Avane. I would imagine it's a vein. If mispronouncing it is a vein, then the real pronunciation must be avian, avine, something like that. Whatever. We've got a Johnny, Strength of the Pride, white, 2 generic. Yeah, white, 2 generic, 5 loyalty. You gain life equal to the number of creatures you control plus the number of planeswalkers you control. That's a Johnny. -2 credit 2/2 white cat creature token named a Johnny's Pride Mate. Oh yeah, it makes the little Johnny's Pride Mates, and whenever you gain life, put a counter on it. And then if you have at least 15 or more life than your starting life total, exile a Johnny, Pride Mate, and each artifact and creature opponents control. Oh. You're taking them all down with you. I thought you exiled and flip it. No, exile and exile everything else that they control. Take it all down. Get rid of it. Erwin, thanks so much for the super chat. Supposed to super chat with something there. But I'll take the $1. But wait, there's more. Gary. Well, the one from Pokemon? No, the merchant. The gray merchant from... Who knows? Oh, what? You don't accept gray? G-R-E-Y? It's gray with a G-R-A... What the hell? What's going on here? There it is. There he is, carrying all the... this makes... I was thinking about this the other day. This makes no sense. None at all. This is insanely heavy. You see these sacks of coins? Like, how much weight is that? Like 100 pounds or something? Carrying it all on your back? And it's so heavy and inefficient to do this that like they left a whole bag of money there in the background. Look at that stupid path I had to walk. There has to be a better way. Anyway, Gray Merchant of Asphodel. As it enters the battlefield, each opponent loses X life, where X is your devotion to black, and then you gain life equal to the life lost this way. Beautiful card. Still see play in Pauper. Underrated card. Boulder, you're back. Blind Obedience. With Extort. This is still good in Commander, isn't it? Artifacts and creatures your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. But you can extort whenever you play spells, pay a white or a black, and each opponent loses 1 life and you gain that much life. And of course, in Commander, that's amazing because you like extort for just 1. They lose 3 life, but you gain the 3 life. So great stuff there. Dylan, thanks so much for the super chat. Angel of Destiny to get the spammer to stop. The spammers, Angel of Destiny. But they wanted me to see them. Here, I recognize... Was it you in Infinity? Angel of Destiny is a win condition for life gain while also giving you tons of life. All right. White, 3 generic, 2/6 flying double striker. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you and that player each gain that much life. At the beginning of your end step, if you have 15 or more life than your starting life total, each player Angel of Destiny attack this turn loses the game. Oh, good God. It's a bit different. Usually it's like, if you have X amount of life more than your starting life total, you win the game. No, instead, if you get dealt damage by this thing, they lose the game. Don't get attacked by the Angel of Destiny. Or it will be Destiny. Julio, Meat Hook Massacre. This is one of the hottest cards lately. It's the sloth. You see the sloth? That's all I could see on this picture. I see a sloth over here. He's hanging. Just chilling out, having fun. Hanging out with a butcher, basically. Enters the battlefield, each creature gets -X until end of turn. But whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses a life. But whenever a creature an opponent control dies, you gain that life. The butcher need the meat! Turning you into mincemeat. Chopping you up. Oh, hey, let's look at this one. Sphinx's Revelation. Good God. It's stroke of genius, but you gain life on top of it. You gain X life and you draw X cards. Life gain and card draw. What's not to love? Bernie! Thanks so much for the super chat. Test of Endurance. What is this? At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 50 or more life, you win the game. Never heard of this card. Never heard of it. Interesting, though. It seems so much harder than, like, Felidar Guardian or something like that. Heroes Reunion. And I have to say, this art is awesome. I like the composition of this art. The test. Yeah. The test of endurance. What is this? Heroes Reunion. White and a green. Target player gains a 7 life. This card's terrible. But thanks so much for the super chat. This is really, really... Are there not better cards? I think there's like a white and one generic. Okay, someone let me know, what is the one card that gains the most life and all it does is like target player or you gain X life? Someone find that for me. What is the one card that gains the most life and that's all it does? It just gives you life. Because I swear there's like one card that is like at least one white, one generic gains 8 life. What's the most life you can gain from a single card? Balder, a Johnny Goldmane? Okay, this is gonna be the last one I'm getting from you, Balder, because I want to give other people a shot. But thanks for your super chats if you give me any more. White, white, 2 generic, +1, you gain a life. You gain 2 life. And put a counter on each creature you control. Those creatures gain vigilance until end of turn. Put a white avatar creature token onto the battlefield. It has this creature's power and toughness are each equal to your life total. Ivory Battle, thanks so much for the super chat. Hopefully you didn't have anything to say with that, because when you super chat, you can leave a comment with the super chat. That's how it works. But thanks so much for the $1. J-Dave, thanks so much. Spirit Link works as pseudo removal too. Oh yes, that's right. People like using this. This is an aura. So people like putting this on creatures. Whenever an enchanted creature deals damage, you gain that much life. So let's say it's a 5/5. You Spirit Link, you use it as removal. You put the Spirit Link on the 5/5 creature. They deal 5 damage to you, but then you're going to gain the life after that. So you got to make sure that they kill you. And that you don't live to tell the tale afterwards. Oh, we have a huge super chat. Baron Brendan with a $50. Adorable kitten purely because the art makes me smile when I'm down. It's not really great, though. I just wanted to give money. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I also love adorable kittens. Adorable kitten. Beautiful. It's very cute, and you can splice it onto sharks and stuff like that. When this creature enters the battlefield, roll a 6-sided die. You gain life equal to the result. Still a life gain card. Bantu the Glorified. I don't remember what this card does. Black 2 generic 4/6 menace indestructible. Can't attack or block unless a creature died, but you can pay a black 1 generic, sack another creature. Each opponent loses a life and you gain a life. This is a good card. This is not bad at all. This is underrated. You get to scry too. You get all the value. So we have an answer to that card, the card that gains the most life. Yeah, I was thinking about Rest for the Weary at the time. Or does no one know what the highest life gain card is? Although you guys are throwing a lot of names out there, so I don't know which, if you're talking about the subject I was on. That's okay. Okay, someone has said Trostani. Where is Trostani? Okay, whatever. Trostani? Oops. Trostani. Which one? Probably this one. Trostani, white, green, 3 generic, 1/4. Other creatures you control get +1/+1, and whenever this creature enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens with lifelink. At the beginning of your end step, each player gains control of all creatures they own. I have no idea if this is the one that was asked. I only saw it lately in chat. All right, we got Mikey J with Tendrils of Agony. Tendrils of Agony. Staple of just Magic the Gathering in general, but only the annoying decks. Target player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Not really. Does anyone make a value Tendrils out there? Like, look, I need to gain some life. Let's just Tendrils for a little bit. No, I think you either just go for it or you don't. We got a Johnny Mentor of Heroes. Thank you very much, Erikusu. Johnny Mentor of Heroes. Do all the Johnnies gain life? Distribute counters to whatever number. Oh, you gain 100. You gain 100 life. You gain 100 life. I think that's it. I think that, I mean, you know what? Well, okay, that's probably the most life you can gain on a single card. I still want to know what, like, instant or sorcery gains the most life. But that's gotta be it. You ultimate for 100 life. I'm sure the life gain players, their eyes just bulged out of their head when they saw that card. 100 life. This is the best ultimate of all time. And technically, it still does nothing. But thank you. That's hold on, that's worth this. 100 life. No one will beat me now. It's impossible. Screw that burn player. Oh, the highest life gain card is a Johnny Mentor of Heroes. Wormcoil Engine. It's funny how few, like, actual life link, or sorry, life gain, yeah, life link cards people are mentioning. Oops. The Wormcoil Engine. I'm missing everything here. Wormcoil, 6/6 for 6, Death Touch, Lifelink, and whenever it dies, you get a 3/3 colorless worm that has Death Touch and a 3/3 colorless worm that has Lifelink. It's a beautiful card. Still good today. Well Wisher, thank you very much, Archaea. Green, 1 generic, 1/1. You gain 1 life for each elf on the battlefield. You tap it and do that over and over again. The Spartan, thank you very much for the super chat. Camaraderie. I don't even know what this is. It's a new card. White, green, 4 generic. You gain X life and draw X cards, where X is the number of creatures you control. And creatures you control get a counter until end of turn. Oh, sorry, they get +1/+1 until end of turn. No counters here. Okay, Mr. Deadhead says, Stream of Life is the best. Stream of Life? Target player gains X life. Ah, just classic, you gain X life. I guess that's the highest life total. That's the most life you can gain, if you can just pay a bunch of life. Imagine playing, what's it called, Channel. You pay a life to get mana, and then you pay like 19 life, and then you just go stream a life to gain it all back. What the hell is Reckoner's Bargain? Reckoner's Bargain. You're all on about. Black, 1 generic has an additional cost to cast this spell. Sack an artifact or creature. You gain life equal to the sacrifice permanent's mana value, and you draw 2 cards. That's not bad. Is this played in Pauper? I don't know if I've seen this before. Probably I didn't, I just don't remember, because I countered it. Counter anything that moves in Pauper. Counter anything that moves. Thank you very much, Quack. I think this is going to be the $1 sound effect. Someone give me $1. I do that. Thank you very much, Quack. I appreciate it. Oh, you had something to say. Veto. Oh, we did Veto. Here, I'll show you Veto again. Or is it Veto the Dusk? Is there a second Veto? No, there's only one Veto. Thorn of Dusk Rose. Giving all the creatures lifelink. Oh my, how do we get this far? We done it. Tom Chalmer with the Deathrite Shaman. Good God. How did I get to this one? Okay, Deathrite Shaman. Black or a green hybrid. Tap, exile target land from any graveyard. You add a mana. But you could also go green, tap it, exile target creature card from a graveyard. You gain 2 life. It's one of the ultimate life gain cards of all time. Maybe one of the best one. Maybe number 1. Maybe number 1. Probably beats Uro. I don't think Uro has anything on Deathrite Shaman. And also you can remove instants and sorceries to make your opponent lose life. It's like a win condition and lifelink all wrapped up in one little ball, one little package. Ivory Battle. Thank you so much for the super chat. Cleric. What the hell is an Ondu Cleric? Oh, I see. Ondu Cleric. White 1 generic 1/1. Whenever Ondu Cleric or another ally enters the battlefield under your control, you may gain life equal to the number of allies you control. If you can get a lot of allies out, this is a beating. But you need that's the trick. It's the hardest part. Okay, True Conviction. True Conviction. What is this? White, 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 3 generic. Creatures you control have double strike and lifelink. Oh, good God. I heard that there's not many enchantments that give lifelink. So this is like a really important one. Oh, Creeping Chill. Mikey J with the practical cards. Creeping Chill. That's right. You know, honestly, I think Dredge would be dead if this card was banned. But it's just a weird card to ban because only one deck plays it. Deals 3 damage to each opponent and you gain 3 life. However, whenever Creeping Chill is just put in your graveyard from your library, you can deal the 3 damage and gain the 3 life. Basically, get stuff for free as you're dredging. Ooh, I like this one. Nyx Fleece Ram. Nyx Fleece Ram. It's not bad. It's seen tournament play. It's a 0/5 wall, and you gain a life every single turn. Probably useless in Commander, but in one-on-one, it's not that bad. It's that little ram. Meh. Gains you some life. Donald with a Beacon of Immortality. Beacon of Immortality. What is this? White 5 generic. Double target player's life total. Shuffle Beacon of Immortality into its owner's library. That could gain a lot of life. In Commander, if you've been untouched, I'm going to go to 80. And it's instant! This is the Felidar Guardian combo that I wanted. Hold on. No, not Felidar Guardian. Felidar Sovereign. This is the combo. All right, we get our Felidar Sovereign out. And then all we have to do is pass it. We just have it out. Just pass the turn. Do nothing. And then I was wondering, how do you gain like a ton of life at instant speed? This is probably good enough. You Beacon of Immortality. You probably have 6 mana because you already have 6 mana for this. Then you target your own life total. And then at your upkeep, I win. I win. I win. Thank you very much, Bernie Miller. Nomad's Encore. Nomads Encore. I appreciate people giving me several cards just in case one has already been chosen. Nomads Encore doesn't exist. All right, well then in that case, Daru Spiritualist. Whenever a cleric you control becomes the target of a spell or ability, it gets +0/+2 until end of turn. It's not even gaining any life. Doesn't even gain any life. Or unless one of those... How many Encore cards are there? Thrilling Encore, Fiery Encore, Gruesome Encore. Anyway, thank you very much for the super chat. Okay, Spartan's gonna go to sleep. But thank you very much. I'm going to sleep now. Thanks for the stream. You're welcome. Thanks for the super chats. And Roderick, Nice Fleece Ram. We did the Ram, but we didn't do the Jodi. The Jodi offshoot. And thanks for the super chat. Green, the 0/3 defender at landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield, you gain a life. Oh, that reminds me. What's the merfolk that does the same thing, but you also draw cards out of it? What's the merfolk? Damn it. What is the Simic merfolk? You play a land, you gain a life, and you draw cards. I mean, it's just basically this plus drawing cards, but also it's like 5 mana. But that's definitely one. Tatiova, thank you so much. Tatiova. Benthic Druid. This is an insane life gain card. This card is busted as far as I'm concerned. It is just broken as hell. 3/3, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life and you draw a card. I'm thinking I should play this in Modern. I should just try it. 5 mana is not impossible. It's just clunky. But holy crap, you just put the land in play and you draw cards and gain life? That is so busted. I think this is very broke. It's gonna die immediately, unfortunately. But protection from Fatal Push. Protection from Fatal Push, I like that. Holy moly, there's a huge super chat. Thank you so much. Top level jiu-jitsu. Thanks for all the great content. You're welcome. Thank you very much. Good luck with the jiu-jitsu. Highly recommend somebody get into some sort of martial arts if you're not exercising. It's a good form of exercise. All right, what do we got? Brian F, thanks for the super chat. We did the worm coil engine already. Ink shield, we have not. What is this? Black, white, 3 generic, instant. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to you this turn. For each 1 damage prevented this way, create a 2/1 white, black inkling creature token with flying. But it doesn't gain life. There's no life gain on here. You just like that card. You people sneaking that crap on me. Levy, Heroes Remembered. You know how vigilant I am with the buzzer. I'm not afraid of setting you guys straight. Gotta put you in your place with the buzzer. Anyway, here, not for Heroes Remembered. Oh, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, I think this is the most life you can gain off of like a instant or sorcery. Heroes Remembered. This is a good one. You gain 20 life. And it's also suspend of 10. You might be dead by then, though. That's the only problem, is actually getting this off. Let's be serious. Okay, at what point would this be fair? How about 5 mana? Is that unfair? Gain 20 life for 5 mana? What do you guys think? Mariel, thank you very much for the super chat. Blossoming Bogbeat. Green for generic for 3/3. Attacks, you gain 2 life. Then creatures you control gain trample and +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the amount of life you gain this turn. Holy moly, so you can create an enormous board if you gain a bunch of life on that turn. Good in the soul set. I think that actually, hold on. Then creatures you control gain trample and +X/+X. This looks really good in a life gain deck. This looks really, really good. One big problem a lot of life gain decks have is like, how do you win the game? You know, where are you going with this? What are you going to do? So usually the best life gain cards are the one that affects power and toughness on the battlefield, and this really affects it. Plus you get the trample, and you gain the life on top of it. This is a good one. This is a very good card. Ivan with the Celestial Mantle. I didn't know you guys are so passionate about life gain cards. White, 3 generic. Enchant creature gets +3/+3. And enchanted creature deals combat damage to a player. Double its controller's life total. Whoa! Whenever enchanted creature deals combat damage to a player, double the life total. That thing is incredible. That gets the super seal of approval from me. That is nuts. It's a life gain player's wet dream. Oh, we got top level. Oh, no, I got that one. Thank you very much, top level. Squeaky. Blood Tribute, Weather the Storm. We didn't do Blood Tribute. Yes, that's one way you gain life. You just suck the blood from somebody else. Okay, black, 4 generic. Kicker, tap and untap vampire you control. What a weird kicker. Target opponent loses half his or her life total life rounded up. If Blood Tribute was kicked, you gain life equal to the life lost this way. And Mr. DJ Longhair. Good morning, everyone. Hope all is good. Stoked for tonight. Enjoy your show, Mr. DJ Longhair. But wait, there's more. So many super chats today, so here's another one for you. Satcher Priest? Is it Suture Priest or Satcher? Oops. Such thing does not. I think it's Suture. Suture. Yeah, Suture Priest. Thank God I knew this one. 1 white, 1 generic. That's how popular this card is. I knew it. 1 white, 1 generic for a 1/1. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may gain a life. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, you may have that player lose 1 life. Revenge of Ravens. Revenge of Ravens. Black, 3 generic. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, that creature's controller loses 1 life. You gain 1 life. Basically renders the 1/1 tokens useless. Completely useless. Master and Commander. Umezawa's Jite. I was asking like chat the other day, is it Jite or Jet? And they said the Japanese would pronounce it Jite. So it's Jite. That's canon now. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage of any sort to creatures or players, you put 2 charge counters on this. And what can you do with those charge counters? You can make the creature +2/+2. You can make another target creature -1/-1, or you can gain 2 life. It actually was a big play. It's still played in Legacy. Not nearly as much as it used to in the glory days. Oh, the glory days. We did Tendrils of Agony, but thank you very much, Samael. And Bernie Miller, Nomads Encore. Nomads Encore. Core Nomad Soldier. One mana for a 1/1. You have to pay 0 mana. The next 1 damage that would be dealt to Nomads Encore this turn is dealt to target creature you control instead. What the hell? This also is not a life gain card. It's a life prevention card, but does not gain life. You tricked me. I hope people love the buzzer for their entertainment. All right, Aloro. Dead Dad says Aloro. Ageless Ascetic. Okay, what is this? We've got black, blue, white, 3 generic for a 4/5 creature. At the beginning of your upkeep, you gain 2 life. Whenever you gain life, you may pay 1. If you do, draw a card, and each opponent loses 1 life. But at the beginning of your upkeep, if Aloro Ageless Ascetic is in the command zone, you gain 2 life. What? In the command zone? That is BS. So hold on, it just keeps gaining life just so long as it's in the command zone. It's in the command zone. I hate these cards. I don't like any of these cards that give you an effect for being in the command zone. That is nonsense. Especially that vampire card that makes vampires whenever you cast a vampire. That's the whole point of playing cards. So you get the effect on the card. You shouldn't be able to get an effect from the middle of nowhere. Neck it with the Honden of Cleansing Fire. I've come to realize there's a lot of life gain cards out there. White 3 generic. At the beginning of your upkeep, you gain 2 life for each shrine you control. So you gotta play the card to get that effect. And that's only 1 shrine. There's a lot of shrines out there. Dylan with the super chat. Thanks so much. Revival/Revenge. Revival, Revenge. That's a very accurate split card. Okay, but we gotta look at it the right way. Return target creature. Which one's the life total one? The Revenge. Double your life total. Not bad. Target opponent loses half of their life, rounded up. Whoa, that's really good. So you gain the life and you nail your opponent. And you can return target creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. That's good stuff. We just did the Honden one. Whip of Erebos. Oh, that's actually a really good one. Whip of Erebos. Whip of Erebos. Creatures you control have lifelink. It's hard to find cards like this. Black, 2 generic, tap. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Gains haste, exile it at the beginning of the next end step. If it would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. Activates this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. Sorin the Mirthless. Sorin the Mirthless. Does this guy gain life? Look at the top card of your library. You may reveal that card and put it into your hand. If you do, you lose life equal to its mana value. Or you can -3 put a 2/3 black vampire creature token with flying and lifelink into play. And of course, it's got that the ultimate -7. Sorin the Mirthless deals 13 damage to any target, and you gain 13 life. It's gonna be unlucky for some. Remember, someone's bad luck probably is someone's good luck. But also, there's that other Sorin. I like this one. Sorin Imperious Bloodlord. It doesn't gain a lot of life, but it's got the +1. You may sack a vampire, and when you do, it deals 3 damage to any target. You gain 3 life. But it's really good for the ability. -3. Just put a vampire creature token onto the battlefield. Put it as big as you can possibly can. Cauldron familiar. Oh, Cauldron familiar. Can't forget this one. Jink Machine, thanks so much for the suggestion, because it's a 1/1 black for a black. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent loses a life and you gain a life. You can sack a food and bring it back. Part of a huge combo. Huge combo. We got Squeaky Yet Sneaky. Use Tainted Remedy for Aloro. What is Tainted Remedy? Tainted Remedy. We did do Weather the Storm already. So Tainted Remedy is black to generic. If an opponent would gain life, that player loses that much life instead. Good God. I didn't know about this card. If an opponent would gain life, that player loses that much life instead. Josh! Authority of the Consoles. We did that one already. Thank you very much, though. But what we didn't do is Aether Flux Reservoir. That is a big one. That's the one you deal like a bunch of damage with the life that you gained. So for generic mana, whenever you cast a spell, you gain 1 life for each spell you've cast this turn. Pay 50 life, deal 50 damage to target creature or player. That's insane card. It's absolutely insane. I think it sees vintage play. Does it see vintage play? I don't know. Cast a spell, you gain 1. Maybe I'm wrong. It sees play somewhere. Someone's playing this card somewhere. Evan, thanks so much for the super chat. Armadillo Cloak. That's a cute one. The aura that gives your creature +2/+2 and trample, and whenever enchanted creature deals damage, you gain that much life. It's a good one. Oh yeah, the swords. Banshee MTG. Sword of War and Peace. Sorry that I can't get to everybody. Everyone has such great suggestions today. The chat is just flooded. Sword of War and Peace. Equipped creature gets +2/+2, pro red, pro white. But whenever it deals combat damage to a player, it deals damage. Whenever Sword of War and Peace deals damage to that player equal to the number of cards in their hand, and you gain 1 life for each card in your hand. Thank you very much, Evan, again for the super chat. Or maybe I did that one already. There's tons more. There's so many. You know, I guess we're gonna have to do this again one day. You guys have so many great suggestions. Yeah, that damn cat. That's right. Healing Cell. It's just the greatest of beta. If we went that early. Anyway, okay, well, that's it for today. Thank you very much for all your support, and also thank you very much. If you want to be part of the show, by the way, you just got to show up at 8 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time, Monday to Friday. Be there or be square. Thank you very much, everyone, for the super chats. It supports the channel big time. Lets me know to keep doing this every single morning. And I try to do a balance, some super chats and some non-super chats. I went out of my way for you guys, so that everyone who shows up, even if you're not super chatting, you get a little bit of recognition and participation. But thank you, and because you guys are the show. Without you guys, I'm screwed. Like, look how many great things. We got Ivory Tower, we got Harmony of Nature. Want to acknowledge some of you guys. The Children of Corliss. There was like Siege Rhino in there. Spike Feeder, of course. Swords to Plowshares. I guess if you target your own stuff, that works. You know, you guys have a lot of suggestions. So because you guys are the show. I'm not the show. You guys are the show. So as usual, keep bringing up those coffees and we will keep bringing up the magic. Take care of yourselves and I will see you.